Hello Capricorn, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Now this is for the week of December 4th through December 10th. And please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And we're going to be finding out what the message is coming through, what is the energy, what is on your mind, what is the situation, what is it that you need to know this week. Right, well we've got a Seven of Wands. Okay, now this card could be talking about some kind of a lack of vitality, some kind of an exhaustion or tiredness going on in your life right now. But we're going to lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread and see if we can get an idea of what is going on. Now we have this mystery card, this bonus card, confirmation card. We're not going to reveal that until the very end, so definitely stick around and hopefully that will, tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for. Okay, so let's straighten these out. We have some water, some fire, some more water, some more fire, a little bit of earth and a little bit of air. So it's mostly kind of fire, water, right? So I feel like there's kind of these two opposing elements that are, kind of working in opposition with each other, and it's creating a lot of steam, a lot of exhaustion, a lot of tiredness. Maybe you're kind of running out of steam a little bit, all right? I'm going to go with this first card that we drew, and this was the Seven of Wands. And this is like, it's kind of you're going up against a kind of a large opponent, right? There's a lot of odds kind of against you this week. I feel like there is some sort of a situation that you are wrestling with, something that is maybe related to a business or maybe related to some other people who are involved in your business with you, perhaps coworkers, perhaps if this is like a family business, because we do see some court cards, we see some water over here as well, like I mentioned. So I really feel like there is this kind of opposition between your ambition, your will, your authority, your kind of business professional sense, and then your compassion, your love, your affection, and your kind of emotional connection with people. And it could be that these are kind of coming into a conflict. And with these two cards, we have the Five of Swords and that Seven of Wands. So I feel like you're kind of in a losing battle right now. Okay, I kind of feel like you're struggling to maybe maintain order. You're struggling to keep this business on the proper path or trajectory, right? It's kind of it's one of those things where you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's kind of a rock and a hard place situation. And I really think you're feeling it this week. I think with the Seven of Wands here, it's starting to really wear you down, unfortunately, right? I feel like there is just a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure on you. And it's becoming a little bit much, I think, right? Or it feels like it's a lot. It feels like you're just, you maybe can't get enough rest, because just looking at these cards, we just see so much like fire, so much of this fire energy that is maybe you trying to assert your will, trying to assert your authority, right? And meeting with such opposition that it's almost like your energy is just kind of being wasted. Or alternatively, we could look at it like you are trying to use too much force. You're trying to put too much energy into it, rather than maybe taking a more watery, more passive kind of approach. And using some of this water energy, some of this compassion, some of this love, some of this emotional energy to get things moving, rather than just trying to force it. Rather than trying to just use the brute force or the that big stick, right, to get everybody in line. But regardless of the tactic that you're using, whatever it is that's going on is not quite working out. I feel like there is kind of this blow to your confidence right now. Okay, I feel like the opposition is kind of overpowering, and it's kind of putting you in this. It's kind of like knocking you onto your back foot a little bit, right? Where you're trying to kind of at least brace yourself so you don't take too much of a loss. Now, this could be that your business isn't doing so well, but I feel like this is about some sort of conflict going on within the business, right, or in the family. Let's go to the recent past here, and we see this Knight of Discs. I think this is you really trying to keep things on track. Okay, I think this is you having this fiery energy because the Knight is all about the fiery element of the suit that it's in, okay? So this is the fiery aspect of that earth element, of the discs or pentacles, right? So I feel like you've been really struggling to maintain order, to keep your authority, to be the boss. I think you're the one that's in charge. And you've really been trying to be fair and calm and, not too tyrannical, right? Not trying to like boss everybody around or be too demanding or be too mean. But you've been trying to keep things on track, and you've been trying to get people to, let's just face it, you've been trying to get people to do their job, okay? And you're trying to be nice about it, you're trying to be calm, but also very firm, very stern, right? Knight of Discs. And I think that maybe this tactic or whatever approach you're using to get things moving, to keep this business or this family, this organization, whatever it is, trying to keep things in order has just been met with some resistance, okay? And it's almost like you're beating your head against a wall with this Seven of Wands. I think you're starting to feel it. I think you're getting a little bit of a headache from that wall. And not only that, that energetic drain that you're feeling a little bit of lack of confidence about it too. Mentally, it's starting to wear on you. It's causing that kind of mental stress, okay? And really, I'm just going to cut right to the chase here. The only way forward is this Emperor energy. This is what I see in the immediate future. So maybe what I said at the beginning isn't quite accurate. Maybe it's not about changing your tactic to a more kind of compassionate, a more watery, passive, emotional approach. Maybe that's not it at all. Maybe the Knight of Discs here is already a little bit too mellow, too passive, too accepting, too gentle, right? Maybe what really is being called for is a little bit more stern authority, right? The Emperor here is all about that fiery energy, okay? Oh, I should point out that this Knight of Discs is also very representative of your general energy, Capricorn, because you are a cardinal earth sign, right? So you're all about the fiery rush, that impulse of the earth energy. And this is the fiery aspect of that earth energy. So this card is really, I think it really does encapsulate your general energy right now. Now, we also have another card that is representing your general energy. But with this Knight of Discs, I think this is showing very, very clearly now your approach to running this business, this organization, this household, whatever it is that you're in charge of. This is showing your approach to it. And it's kind of, in some ways, it's kind of a hands-off approach, right? It's kind of, you just basically want everybody to do their job and everybody to get along. And like, why can't it just work that way, right? But it's going to involve a little bit more, I think, authority on your part. You have to be a little bit more outspoken. You have to speak up. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to be the boss that not everybody is going to really like. They're going to respect you, but they may not like you. And you know what? If this is in a professional situation, if you're a business owner, a boss, a supervisor, so be it, right? You can't please all the people all the time. So by having this authority, this rather stern demeanor, if it needs be, you're going to create the success in this business, this organization that you're striving for. Okay, it's not going to be by letting people get their way, or letting people maybe with this Five of Swords, letting people kind of talk you out of decisions. You know, like with the Emperor, once you decide something, right? Once you make the announcement, you make something policy, you have to stick to it. It's really about that firmness. Even if you realize that maybe it's not the correct thing, maybe you're going to be second guessing yourself internally, in private. Outwardly, in front of the troops, in front of the employees, you have to be very confident in your decisions, right? And the emperor is really about that confident authority, that firmness, that sternness. I think kind of what's going on is maybe others are taking your kindness for a little bit of weakness. Okay, and that I think the Knight of Discs is a very kind leader. Okay, but I think that's putting you in this position where you're maybe being taken advantage of. Maybe others are talking you out of decisions, convincing you otherwise, and I think you're just really feeling like it's a battle, like everything is a battle, right? Even the simplest of tasks or chores or, whatever is too much of a fight, too much of a battle, that it doesn't need to be that way. And, again, I think the emperor is the way through that. It's just by being a little bit more firm and a little bit more authoritative, a little bit stern if you need to be. And I think beneath the surface of all of this, what is really kind of the bedrock of all this? Well, it's the Princess of Discs. This is the complete general success of everyone involved, right? This is everyone's health, wealth, everyone's well-being and wellness, fitness, finances, all of that, everything. Okay, this is what it really is all about, is creating this successful thing, whether it's your private life, in your home, domestic situation, whether it's in your professional life, a business that you own, your supervisory role, the company that you work for, wherever it is. In your church, lodge, temple, order, charitable organization, community organization, the list goes on and on, right? Wherever this is taking place, wherever you have that authority or that responsibility to make things happen, your intentions really are to just do a good job, to create success, for everybody to be happy, for everybody to be well taken care of, for everybody to be successful and fulfilled, right? But in order to do that, you have to make the difficult choices. You have to be willing to not be liked all the time, right? You have to be willing to be this emperor energy, to exert your control and your authority. And it's okay if people don't like you. It's okay if people, are going to be kind of bitching and moaning because they're being given these tasks or these responsibilities. But you know what? They're going to appreciate you later. They're going to thank you later when everybody has this tremendous success, because the Princess of Discs is really a successful card. It's manifestation. It's abundance. It's just profound success. Okay, and it's not just financial success, but this is like pretty much the central Earth card that we have here. This is, it is a financial thing or a physical thing, right? It's taking place in the real world in terms of the physical manifestation of abundance and wealth and well-being. But this is satisfaction and pleasure and fulfillment on the emotional and mental planes, the spiritual plane as well. Okay, so this is an all-encompassing wholeness. It's not just that you're trying to make $1, right? You're not just like the cutthroat business person that just wants profit and doesn't care about anything else. No, you want everybody to have a fulfilling experience in this thing. And it could be work, it could be, in some other area of your life. But you want everybody to be fulfilled and successful and joyous and really feel like they have a deep connection with the work that they're doing, right? Whatever the physical projects are that are involved with this scenario. And again, this week is really about overcoming this kind of obstacle, this sense of kind of being defeated by these other people, or having every little thing seem like a battle, and one that you're maybe not really winning all of the time. It's about getting over that feeling, getting over that dynamic that you have with these others, okay? And then at the top here, what you're kind of looking at what's kind of shining a light on the entire reading is this this Prince of Wands here. Now, I wonder if this isn't somebody else involved here. Is this one particular person who is... what I'm kind of feeling is that this is somebody else in the situation that is kind of inadvertently being in charge, or maybe when you give an instruction or give an order or make a decision, everyone kind of like turns to look at this person, right? This might be a fire sign person, but I think it's someone else in your life in this situation that maybe everyone kind of looks to them to see if they should agree with your decision, right? So it's almost like this person is kind of standing next to you, and they're the one that people are looking towards to get the validation or get the approval, right? When you give an instruction. So it's not that they're usurping your authority, but I think everyone else is looking to them for the authority, for the instruction, rather than looking at you. Okay, so I think there's this dynamic there where you have to kind of be the one to kind of step in front of this person and be like, no, you're going to follow my instructions, right? And I don't know who this person is, if this is just a coworker, someone else in the family, another friend, some associate. But I feel like that person's the one that, you know, anyone else involved here, like the employees or the other members of the family, whoever, whatever group of people we're talking about, I feel like they look towards this person for the approval and for the authority rather than looking at you. Okay? So again, it's not that they're intentionally usurping your authority, but the people just look to them, to that person, right? So I feel like the emperor kind of needs to step out in front and say, no, you know, I'm in charge. Okay. Well, let's move over to the path of the serpent now and see if we can get an idea of what else might be going on, or what are some other kind of influences here. Okay. Now, first of all, your general energy, we see this Prince of Cups, and I think maybe this is trying to show us that little bit passive kind of authority that you have, right? It kind of goes back to what we said with the Knight of Discs as well, and the reason why we might be in this position now, because there is a tendency to, I'm trying to figure out how to put this, to allow ourselves to be convinced, allow ourselves to be dissuaded. So it's almost as if you were to exert your authority, like give an order or make a decision, and someone or for some reason you start to second guess yourself, you start to question yourself, and then maybe it's easy for you to kind of go back on your decision. Okay. And with the Prince of Cups here, this is someone who feels the conviction inside, right? Has very strong belief in themselves, is very, very firm and just very decisive, very authoritative. But on the outside, they can kind of go back and forth. They're kind of easily swayed. They're kind of impressionable in a way. Okay. So this is someone, you know, who may be able to make a firm decision, have really strong convictions, and kind of enter into a room knowing exactly what they want. But then within a few minutes, the other voices in the room start to cause them to kind of second guess or start to doubt their own decisions, you know. And that's kind of the watery nature of this authority figure. That's the watery nature of this Prince of Cups. Again, like you go into the room with a firm decision, but then by the end of the conversation, they've got you questioning yourself, right? Or they've kind of got you convinced to some other decision. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of goes hand in hand with this Knight of Discs. And this is more of that kind of hands-off approach, expecting everything to just kind of function, kind of trusting other people to be able to self-organize and get things done. When in reality, what I think what the situation needs is more of this Emperor energy, more of this firm, direct authority, very clear instructions on how to proceed. And I really feel like we have more of this fiery energy, right? This is in the position of your relationships. How do you relate? Or maybe how should you relate to the other people involved here? And this is an 8 of Wands. This is indicating very clear, very swift, very direct, very blunt, very to the point communication and instruction. This isn't a this isn't a decision making. This is not a democracy. It's not a discussion. It's not something that's open to debate. This is just like direct, rapid fire instructions, because you're in charge. Whatever this situation is, the responsibility is on you. And at the end of the day, it's going to be your headache. All right, so we got to take some of this fiery energy, because there's quite a bit of fire here today, you know. We've got to take this fire and we've got to direct it, laser point where it needs to go, right? Just very clear, very direct, very blunt if need be, very stern, very authoritative, very confident. And again, once you make that decision, there's no going back, right? There's no second guessing. You can question yourself and doubt yourself all you want in private, but in front of everyone else, you have to just be absolutely confident and allow no room for any kind of doubt or any kind of questioning to creep in. It has to be direct messages, right? And that's kind of the lightning that we get with the 8 of Wands here. Just showing that it has to really be very quick, right? If you hesitate, then there's going to be some other input somewhere, and it's going to be a whole discussion, and the whole day's wasted and nothing gets accomplished, kind of thing. Okay. Now the next card we see is representing your fears, concerns, what's going to maybe cause you some anxiety this week. What is kind of the one thing that's preventing this fiery energy from really hitting? And that is a 9 of Cups. Now this is usually like one of my favorite cards in the tarot, and this is all about happiness, all about the pursuit of happiness, all about joy and pleasure and feeling good. So I think part of you is reluctant to be this Emperor energy because some people may not like you. In the moments that you have to be this Emperor, other people may not really feel too good about it, or you may not feel too good about it. You may feel like you are being mean or cruel or being too bossy or just not being conducive to other people's happiness, okay? That you may be in that moment making them a little bit unhappy. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the burden that the Emperor carries. They have to be willing to not be liked by everyone all of the time. And I think that's kind of the obstacle for you to overcome, is this need to kind of please everyone, or this need to like make sure everybody is happy and joyful and you know, having a good time and having a good experience. Because we have to remember that your ultimate goal is this just complete success, right? Long-term, very stable success and abundance of this thing, this business, this project, whatever it is. And so this need to please everyone, I think, is getting in the way of your authority. And that could be giving other people the idea that they can sway you, that they can take advantage of you, that they don't really have to listen to you. And that, again, may be why they're kind of like, you know, they're kind of looking over at this person to see, like, do we really have to listen? Do we really have to listen to them? Or can we do our own thing? So they're kind of looking to this person for just kind of like for validation or for approval or for some kind of, a cue about what they really are supposed to do. Do we really have to listen to you, you know? And that, I think, maybe is stemming from this. Now, don't get me wrong. This kind of concern for other people's well-being and other people's happiness, this kind of compassion and love and affection for other people is a damn good thing, right? This is an amazing quality to have. But I don't know really how to reconcile this kind of water with this kind of fire, okay? So this is something maybe that you have to figure out, and maybe this confirmation, maybe this mystery card will be something like the Art or Temperance card, okay, which will be kind of showing that you are going to be able to find a way to blend together your authority and your care and concern and your compassion, okay? But right now, the way this looks is that these two are kind of in conflict, right? You want everybody to be happy, you want everybody to be pleased and to be satisfied, no one to be upset, everyone to be in a good place. But yet you also have to have this kind of authority. You need people to listen to you, you need people to do their jobs or get things done. So how do we blend these two together? Okay, maybe the confirmation card will show us. The final card that we have on the path of the serpent is this Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is a card that's all about water. It's all about sacrifice. It's all about giving something up. So I wonder if in this context, it's not kind of talking about, you know, which one of these are we going to have to give up? If you can't have both this Nine of Cups and this Emperor, which one are you going to sacrifice? I think sacrificing either one is going to put you in this awkward position, this uncomfortable position. It's going to put you kind of at odds with yourself a little bit, okay? But it seems to me like giving up one or the other of these things is kind of necessary right now, unless we see something really amazing here in the mystery card. There's something that I'm not seeing here. And I think it's contained in this mystery card. I hope that is, you know, like the Temperance card or something, maybe an Empress even, I think would be a good card to get. Because the way it looks right now, the way it stands, is that one or the other of these things, either the fire or the water, has to be kind of sacrificed, has to be given up. And either way, you're going to be in this awkward position where you're going to have to kind of make this choice, right? It's not going to feel good either way. So I'm not really sure how to reconcile these two opposites right now. Okay. But let's take a look at the mystery card, because maybe that'll be the Temperance card. Maybe you will leave me some comments and let me know how you're going to blend together or reconcile these opposites, this fire, this water, this compassion and pleasure and joy, and this authority. Okay, this confidence. Because as it stands right now, it's just the trying to push these watery and fiery elements together is creating a lot of steam, right? Creating a lot of trouble, kind of conflict, right? So let's see. I think Temperance card, 14th mystery of the tarot. I think maybe the Empress. But let's find out. I'm a little nervous what this is going to be, because I honestly don't know how all of this is going to be moving forward for you. Okay. Well, we're back to a choice. We're back to kind of, you know, what this Hanged Man is really all about, and kind of making a choice, making a sacrifice. And I think that as it stands right now, this is kind of saying that there is no real solution. There is no real blending together of this fire and this water. But maybe there doesn't need to be a decision made right now. Maybe you don't have to really give anything up and make a definite decision, because the Two of Swords, this is all about kind of peace. It's about, like, you know, coming to terms with the way things are, right? Accepting the situation as it is, perhaps. And maybe, you know, maybe just having these two kinds of things be at odds in this situation is just the way it has to go. Maybe it just needs to be a little bit of steam, because we have the fire, we have the water, and then the mystery card, the confirmation card, is the air. So I think it's going to be kind of, you know, these two forces, these two elements are going to have to coexist. They're not going to get along, and they're not going to make things easy for each other or for you. But I think as it stands right now, it's just going to have to be like, you're just going to have to put up with each other, really, right? They're just going to have to kind of exist, and they're both going to struggle for control, and for dominance of the situation, but you know, it's something you're going to have to navigate as it stands. I don't think you're the type of person that will give this up, that will compromise this kind of compassion and love and this, you know, it seems like who you are. You seem like a very generous, very compassionate, very loving and affectionate person. But you also feel to me like someone who has the authority, has the confidence, has the business skill, and really has the knowledge and talent to make this a success, whatever it is, business, if it's in your private life, whatever. So you also are this emperor. So, you know, there has to be a way to kind of blend these forces together. I don't see that happening now. I see right now it's kind of at a stalemate. And maybe in the extended we can get a little bit more information. Maybe in next week's reading we can see how this energy will progress. But for right now, I think that it's a matter of really trying to be true to yourself and, you know, embracing both sides of your being, both sides of your personality, of your nature, right? Because I don't think you're ready yet to kind of make the decision to just be that ruthless, cutthroat kind of, you know, authority figure. But then you also don't want people to walk all over you and to mistake your kindness or your compassion for weakness. Okay, so something for you to be aware of for this week, okay? And I want to thank you for letting me read for you today. If you want to become a member to this channel, you can get access to all of the extended readings. There's a link in the description box. We also have a Patreon account set up. You can also buy me a coffee if you want. Otherwise, I really appreciate you watching this video, clicking on my video, coming to this channel, and sticking around this long. I know it's been about a half an hour already. This was your weekly tarot reading for December 4th through December 10th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. And I will see you next week.